Hi, Hiram here. This video that I'm doing today is a video response that I'm making to KittchenSink's video response, which was to a video response that I did to KittchenSink's video response. Hope I said that right. Please don't make me say it again. A couple of things. I was asked a bunch of stuff, so I thought I'd go over it today while I'm having this heat up to see what happens. The Stanley multi-use bottle cup, I was asked, does this fit into the Swiss Ranger Volcano stove? Yes, it does. Fits up to about here, so that gives you about this much that you could, I guess you could use it in this. I got a message from somebody that I'll leave unnamed that said, Hiram, do you think your attitude could be affecting your test? Frankly, I don't know what my attitude has to do with anything. I think I'm a pretty, straightforward guy. Sorry, just kidding. I think what they meant was altitude. My altitude here, at about this spot right here, is about 430 feet, give or take, I guess 5 feet off the floor. So I'm only anywhere from 430 to 450 feet above sea level. I don't really think that would affect these tests that much. I could have gone up to the Appalachian Trail. That's like 1,000 feet or more. But right here, I don't think my altitude would matter. Practical Skills said that he did some researching, and he says that UK methylated spirits is about 70 to 90% ethanol and 1 to 10% methanol. SLX is about 50-50 ethanol and methanol. What I have in here now is the old SLX stuff that I used to use. Now I use in most of my tests methanol, pure methanol, which is like racing car fuel. But this is what I was using and what I'm using here now. Could anybody tell me what methylated spirits are used for? Is that like a first aid thing? I went to the drugstore and I found this stuff, ethyl rubbing alcohol. It says 70% by volume ethanol. Ethyl alcohol, 70%. And this says it's a first aid antiseptic. Now this is just clear liquid, 70% alcohol by volume. This does burn, but it gives like a yellowish flame. A little bit different than using isopropyl alcohol, which is 91% by volume. This too is an antiseptic, first aid antiseptic. This stuff and this, when you burn it, does soot. I had always thought that methylated spirits is pretty much the same thing as denatured alcohol, which this SLX denatured alcohol is used for cleaning off things, and it's used for fuel for alcohol stoves. If somebody could tell me what the meths are used for in the UK. I think it was Practical Skills said about the only ethanol he can think of is something called Everclear grain alcohol, which unfortunately here in Pennsylvania is illegal to be sold at the liquor stores. I guess I could go over to Jersey and find some, but then I'd probably be breaking the laws again. So I'll have to see what I can find. Let's see, what else was there? Yeah, this water is just now starting to boil. What I'm doing here is I've had people asking me, what did the flames look like down in there? When I took the cup off yesterday, they could see some of the flames coming up through the top, but I didn't show looking down into the thing. What I'm thinking is happening is the Trangia burner has this thing where if it gets heated up, it makes more vapor, which makes more heat, which heats it up more, which makes more vapor, and it gets into a vicious cycle and really starts running wild. That's part of the problem that I think's happening here, is not enough air coming in, and it just kind of makes this thing run into overload. the other thing was Kitchen Sink had commented in his VR to my VR to his VR that I might be out of shape, which again, getting into kind of personal there. Just kidding. This ring might be out of shape, but this is a total perfect seal. I mean, it's not bent or anything. So there's no air leaking in or out or whatnot. Okay, this is surprising. Now it's not. There we go. See, now the flames were coming, or the fumes rather, were coming out. It wasn't until there was a spurt here where the flames came up the side. Hopefully it caught it on this camera. It probably, if I'd held a match here, I would have lit it too. But fumes could be coming out here, and because his Trangia isn't running wild, flames didn't come out this opening to light that stuff. Let me turn off the light here. Now I can't tell from my display here whether you can really see this well, but these are all burning now. So let me set up my camera 2 here. Okay, I've got some camera 2 here. See how that's just kind of going into overflow? Now maybe with more air holes, it would let in, cooler air to keep the Trangia cooler. But it's running wild. Sorry about not holding the camera straight. I'm trying not to get burned here. Okay. So you can see that it is going wild up and out. Oh, the handles are cool. See, now if I put that on, now these holes are burning, but these aren't. But watch, if I wave it across to just push the flame over, they all light. So I'm thinking, even though Kitchen Sink used a real Trangia burner, I think his methylated spirits aren't as hot a burning fuel as SLX or denatured alcohol, which again, I hate to repeat myself, I always thought that they were one and the same, that methylated spirits and denatured alcohol. Although the term denatured alcohol just means that it's alcohol that's been made so you can't drink it. So I guess there's different levels of denatured alcohol. Okay, so, pardon my arm. I think that was about all I wanted to cover on this. I don't know if I'll get another VR from Kitchen Sink. Like I said before, I love this kind of input and stuff. This is what the whole YouTube thing is supposed to be about. So anyway, I don't think it's my altitude that's affecting this. I think it's just thermal feedback and then thermal runaway with the Trangia, because I'm using a fuel that burns a little bit hotter and vaporizes more. And like I said, for those of you that asked, the Stanley Cup does indeed fit down into this. So that might give you another consideration for a bottle or a cup out of this to use with this. I thank you for watching. I thank Kitchen Sink for his VRs and his keeping me straight on this. I look forward to your input, questions, remarks, helpful suggestions. And as always, watch for my buddy Max.